Good morning, lovelies. Sandra here, and welcome back to my channel, especially the skin series. And yes, today, well, I always go through things in my mind overnight, and last night it got me thinking about moisturizers, and I didn't mean to do this particular episode this soon. Because I wanted to do some acne ones, but it was just in my mind and I thought I need to do this and get this out of my head. And one of the things I was thinking was there are and this is not about moisturizers, okay, this episode, this is about making your own BB or CC cream. But before I go on about that and show you how I make mine, what I want to say is this, and I want you just to think about it. When we decide to start getting something for our skin, you know, maybe we look and think, oh, we need to do something, get some moisturizer, do something like that. The first thing, I think anyway, most people think, and the first thing people always ask me for was, what moisturizer do you recommend? Okay, and I used to be asked that question a lot of times. And of course I would recommend a moisturizer to them. However, instead of thinking about that, think about the reason why you're asking about this moisturizer, because what I found is a lot of people will put, the cat wants to come in, a lot of funds into buying a good moisturizer for their face. And there are some expensive ones out there. Okay, even the ones that you pick up in Walmart, L'Oreal and all of that, you know, even the ones that you get from Macy's, Ulta, Sephora, there's a whacking price thing on a lot of those moisturizers. And I think we get het up with the fact that if you buy a really good moisturizer, it's going to do a lot for your skin, especially being as moisturizers these days add a lot of ingredients to them. You know, they'll have anti-aging Lulu, hey my darling, that's a new noise you're making, my love. So especially the fact that that threw me then now, gosh darn it. But a lot of them say that they put in all kinds of things in to help your skin. Okay, they have a retinol in, they have serums in, they have ceramides, they have all kinds of things. And there's even some words that are coming out in moisturizers I've never even heard of, if I'm honest. But Lulu, my darling, I'm gonna have to kick you out the room if you don't stop that. Okay, out the room. I know I love her, but she's gonna have to go. Stop it, my darling. I don't want to keep recording this. Yes, sorry guys. So I found that people will drop quite a bit of money on a moisturizer, a small pot of moisturizer. But think about it like this. What is it you are trying to achieve with a moisturizer? You're trying to moisturize your skin and you want it to do something. Maybe you've got some redness, maybe you've got some acne, maybe you feel like you're getting, you know, your skin's feeling older, you want some firmness, you want some plumpness and all of that. And I don't blame you. We all want, she's going to start again. My patience is getting really good with the cat these days. Lulu! Stop it. She knows. So, but this is the thing about aging, okay? Yes, I do want you to moisturize or hydrate. I'm not going to use the word moisturize. I do want you to hydrate your skin, because hydrated skin is more plumper and it can, you know, it can help, should one say. But the best thing you can get, the overall thing you can get that people do not want to spend the money on, is the sunscreen. And I don't know why. And I think it's because when I used to talk to my customers, the overwhelming thing is it's too heavy and it clogs up my pores and I get zits. Let me just pick her up, guys. She wants this episode to be about her. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But what I found is that you'll say to people, well, I would rather you spend good money on a moisturizer, on a sunscreen, and some sunscreens are 30, 40, 50 bucks. I'm not joking, the one I get I think is about 30 bucks. Okay, but they're willing to spend it on a moisturizer, and yet the sunscreen is going to do more for you than a moisturizer, because 90% of aging comes from the sun. We know it comes from the lighting and everything like that. And a sunscreen, okay, back in the day, they were heavy, they were cloggy, they would leave chalky messes on your face. I know this. And I think if you're a person of colour, it's probably even worse, because you don't want all that ashy chalkiness on your face. So I totally understand why people would not want to spend that money on a sunscreen. I mean, you'll go out and you'll look at the sunscreens and think, oh, 7 or 8 bucks, that's expensive for a sunscreen. Or another thing that people would used to say is, well, it's in my makeup. My makeup's 15% sunscreen. My makeup's this and this and this. Okay. How do you argue with that? So this is my thing. If you are looking at getting your skin better, if you have brown spots, if you have freckles, if you have aging, if you have lines, if you are looking seriously at starting to look after your skin with less trauma, because if you could stop all those things like they do in the Asian countries, in Korea and Japan and China and places like that, they have sunscreens, and I'm not talking a 15 sunscreen, I'm talking a 50 or 60 sunscreen in products from an early age. I mean, they have it in most of their products. It has some kind of sunscreen, because they stop it before it's going to cause the brown spots, before it's going to cause any damage. The sun's going to cause damage to your skin. Yes, we all want to tan, we all want to look nice and healthy, but at some point you're going to have to make a decision on what it is important to you about your skin. If it's important at all. If you're watching my video, hopefully it's because you want to make a change, and even if 1 or 2 people pick up from this and they get a change from it, I'm happy with that. So this is what I think. You see, when you buy a moisturizer with all these things in, they're watered down. Your moisturizer it's some kind of moisturizing sort of cream, and then what they do is they add things to it to make it what it is. Okay, they might add serums to it, they might add a sunscreen to it, they might add things to it, and you're getting that, but you're getting a watered down version of it. I mean, do you really think that they're putting a 50 or 60 sunscreen in there? No, they're not. And another thing that people always used to say to me was, well, I read on the internet that you don't need anything more than this of a sunscreen, or this and a sunscreen. Okay, then why are you here seeing me? Because you want to get rid of your dark spots. Because your dark spots come from the sun, and it doesn't seem to be doing very well with that Bare Minerals makeup that you've been using. I mean, I was very specific with people, and I don't beat around the bush about it. So this is what I would say. If you are looking for something new, you're on a brand new platform of trying something for your skin, if you're happy with what you're doing, if you're happy with your products, continue using your products. I'm not here to change anything that you're using, and I'm not here to diss anything. If you get really good results with what you're using, I'm happy with it. But if you want to start making a change and feel that you're doing good and seeing results, then I've got some things that you can do. And the first thing is you've got to whack your money on a good sunscreen. Okay, put the money for the moisturizer down, get your sunscreen. I'm not paid, by the way, by anyone, and this is my sunscreen. It's the La Roche Posay Athelios. This is the 60, and this is a very light. I mean, they have come on a long way. This is a broad spectrum, and it says it has a Cell OX shield. I don't bother with all that crap. UVA, UVB, and it has antioxidants. Let me tell you what a UVA is and a UVB. UV, comes from the sun or some kind of light source. The A is for above the skin, The B is for below the skin. That's just remember that. If your thing has a UVA and a UVB, it means it's protecting it on the top and inside, because when the sun comes down and hits your face, it doesn't just hit it and bounce off, it hits it and goes in, because your brown spots and your H spots start right at the baby pores. So it comes all the way down, goes into your pores, and then starts causing sun damage, I suppose, under there. And then that becomes your sunspot. Because let's face it, a sunspot, you know, I've got two here at the end of the day that I've been lightening over the years. This isn't just on the surface. This goes all the way down. This is damage that's been done all the way into my skin, okay? And all you're doing by lightening the surface is lightening the aesthetic look of it. You don't want it to look, you know, really dark brown if you can help it. So on the surface, when you use lightening ingredients, you are lightening the surface to make it look more acceptable to you. So that's why you want something, if you're gonna get something with an A and a B, the A for is above, B for below. Okay. The next thing it says is, this one actually has an antioxidant in it, and that's great. And it is for sensitive skin, fragrance free. I always go for those. This one is water resistant for 80 minutes. So for at least an hour, you're covered. And it tells you on the back of, you know, all the stuff that you need and all of that kind of crap. And it's small. Okay, now CVS in my town just started stocking this, and I was shocked because I only ever used to be able to get it to Target. I used to have to drive an hour to Target. If you start at the beginning of the year with this and at the end of the year you've got it, you ain't done good enough. You haven't done good enough for your skin, okay? You need to be doing this like you would a moisturiser. You get a moisturiser in a pot. If you're out of that moisturiser in 4, 6, 8 weeks, you've used it. You'll need to be doing that with this. This is your moisturiser now in the morning, okay? Now I know you're fretting, you're like, what? Okay, calm down a minute. With this one, you shake it up, and the consistency is super, super lightweight. And I'm talking the lightest weight possible. It is a very soft lotion, okay? And you can see, hopefully you can see, it's very, very soft. And another thing this one does have a slight sheen to it. So I really like that, okay? I mean, it's not like, you know, your face is too sheeny, but that's it. Another thing is it dries in, and it dries in dry. That's it, it's dry, it's in. And you know, a lot of them with tacky, and you touch your face and you're like, oh, it's too tacky. No, this goes in, and now you're protected on the outside and on the inside, at least for an hour. And when it says water resistant, I mean, let's face it, you know, you're perspiring, your body's perspiring, whether you know it or not, all day. Okay, it might not be in hordes, you might not be dripping sweat, but you know, these are meant to be topped up during the day. Now, I don't just do this on its own. And this is where turning your own BB or C cream, you make your own BB or CC cream. I have a couple of these in, okay? And these are the little pots that you can get. And this would be great, absolutely great, if you are traveling anywhere, or, you know, well, to be any time. And this is what I do. I've also talked about serums, and one of the serums that I'm liking at the moment is a Ginseng Radiance serum, okay? And this is a Korean brand, and this goes underneath things normally. And I've talked in previous videos about free radicals and antioxidants. Now, this already has an antioxidant in it, and an antioxidant will fight a free radical. So a free radical is someone who's attacking you, and an antioxidant is someone who's fighting it, okay? So that's what it is. I use the example of the police underneath your skin. You know, the police with their shields are the antioxidants, or hopefully, you know, and then the free radicals are things that are always bombarding it. So a free radical is something that's in the air, or maybe even, you know, in your system if you're suffering with an illness that'll constantly fighting you. So an antioxidant is sort of a boost. And yeah, I have this Radiance serum, and this is what I'm going to add to it as well. I'm going to add some of this. The next thing I'm going to add, for those people who are like, no, breaks me breakout, blah, 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 all that, my most favourite product on the planet, the La Roche Posay Efferclar Dual. And this contains benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid. You've got both. Well, I think it does. Let me just check. Here's me saying that. Benzoyl, oh, no, it doesn't actually. Okay, let me just go back on that. I thought it had salicylic acid in. It's just got the benzoyl peroxide. And what it does is it's an acne medication, and it targets bacteria. Okay, so it will go into your skin, any bacteria. So we're going to add that to our little concoction that we're making, just a wee bit, so that those of you who say I break out whenever I use a sunscreen, we've got something to stop you from breaking out. The last thing is totally up to you. Now, in my original ones that I make, I never put a colour in mine, okay, ever. But for this, I'm going to put a colour in, because I think then you can see how you can use it as a BB cream. I do have this Infallible Pro Matte foundation. I never use foundation at all, to be honest, because I like to keep my skin as clear as possible. I'll try not to use makeup if I can. But this was a darker one, and what I used to do when I bought foundation, I would buy a very light, a very dark, and then depending on how my skin was through the years, I just used to make my own colour. So this for my skin is darker. I mean, you can see it is actually darker. I'm not sure how it's showing up on your screen, but this is sort of for a tanned person. So if you are going to do this, and you do want to make your own little BBCC cream with, you know, with these products, get yourself a nice foundation that is a couple of shades darker than you would normally get. Because if you get the colour that you are now, it ain't going to work, is it? It's going to lighten up. So let me show you what I do. I get my little container. Shake it up, shake it up, shake this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some to the bottom. I'm going to add some sunscreen. And you know, your face changes, the colour changes during the seasons anyway, because you will still get some kind of a tan. This is just a protection barrier, but it colour changes. So I don't make a big whacking amount for a year. I just make a small amount at a time, and I've popped in my sunscreen. The next thing I'm going to do is pop in a little bit of the serum, because I want another antioxidant in there. Okay, so this comes with an ampule. And you see that? And I have just popped in one thing, just one thing of my serum. This is a nice serum. I'm going to put a list of a couple of the serums down. I never used to use a serum before, but I'm really liking this serum. So in this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add something to stop me from breaking out if I did break out. And even if you do have acne, or you get monthly, you know, acne or stuff like that, at least you know you got something in there. So I'm just going to pop, be very gentle about it, just a couple. Oh, came out sort of like a bit wormy, just a bit of that. It's a small amount goes a long way, guys. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is add some of this to it. I'm not going to add a lot. So what you're going to do is add a small amount to start off with. And then what you want to do is stir it up. See, we've got some colour in there. Now what I'm going to do is just, this is not professional at all, but now what we're going to do is stir all this up, and we're going to make it into a colour of some sorts, okay? And you just adjust it. Now remember that I said to get a darker foundation. That's because when you add the dark to the whiteness of the sunscreen, it's going to lighten it up. So okay, actually that looks a pretty decent colour to me, because it did a good couple of blobs did go in. So let's just get the end of this. Now you can see, and it is quite runny, okay, because we've added a serum to it. We've got everything on it, and all I'm going to do and you notice I don't want it to change the colour of my skin, okay? But what it's doing is it's just giving me that slightest sort of glow to my skin. Let me get some out of here now. And what you want to do is you want to put this over your entire face. Now I'm hoping, now for my people who like to wear makeup during the day, this could be a makeup base, okay? But you got a 60% sunscreen in this. So what I'm going to do is just work this all the way in. And it feels silky smooth. It actually feels like silk. So I'm working that over my entire face, and I want you to work that over everything, and then down your neck as well, if you can. Now, as far as your body's concerned, you can go and get that cheaper one if you want, you know. Your face is normally what's on show. I normally wear things on my arms anyway, and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm just doing this as just a, you know, you could put on as much of this as you want. But the good thing about this now is now it's on. It's on. Not only is it on, but I have just added, and it is moisturising my face. Now during the day, what I do then, now remember I don't normally have the colour in mine, but normally during the day what I do then to hydrate my skin more is I use the mist. And I've talked to you about the elf mist that I used before, and all I do is renew the mist and let it air dry. But the good thing about this, if you don't want to wear makeup during the day, halfway during the day you can go and put another layer of this on and make sure you're protected again. I mean, this is on, this is sunk in, this is not tacky in any way. I'm touching my face, but I just want you to see this is not tacky in any way. And then if I was going to go out and it's going to be a really warm day, and I know I'm protected, but you're not protected the entire day with a sunscreen, only for a couple of hours or depending on what you do, then you take your little thing with you, and all you got to do is, you could use your brush or your makeup sponge or whatever, just reapply it, and it's that thin. Let me just get that off there. It is literally that thin that it's not going to clog your pores. But another thing you are doing with it is, because you've got antioxidant in there and because you've got a serum in there, you are actually giving your skin a little bit of a boost. So this is nice. This is, you can put this in your handbag, you can do what you got to do, you know, make sure you do sort of where you want to do with this, especially if you have the colour in it, and then pop the lid on it. And what you have is a moisturizer now that, yes, it probably costs the same amount as a moisturizer. I think the serum's about $15 maybe, but you saw we only put one blob of it in, and then, you know, if you're going to buy a serum, you're going to buy a serum. Some serums are so expensive. These Korean ones are fantastic. I just, like I say, I think I'm going to get they've got another one in a green bottle. I think I might get that one as well. But I mean, I've been using it. I've barely touched this, and I don't use this serum every day. Okay, if you've watched a previous video where I've done the scrub and the mask together, and I mentioned after all that you pop a serum on before a sheet mask, that's when I use my serum. I don't use it every single day. If you want to use it every single day, you'll use it every single day. Just doing it once a week for me is good enough, because now I've got a blob of it in my sunscreen and I'm going to be getting the benefits anyway. The only other thing that I do use, and I ran out of the Neutrogena one, but I got this in the kit, the Tatcha one, is the under eye cream now. And this is from Tatcha, but it's super expensive. I would definitely stick with the Neutrogena one. And this has, you know, the cooling effect of this, and you just pop a bit on. And this one has it has almost a glow to it. I'm not sure if you can see. I mean, I like it. It's just really expensive. One of the things I would always say as well is pop it in the refrigerator if you have a refrigerator, you know, if you have, you know, I've just seen these little portable ones you can get for your bathroom, but pop this in your refrigerator, because if you're going to use this in the morning, it's really going to help take down any of the, you know, puffiness. So this is the eye cream, and what I do is I just pop the eye cream on, and to be honest, I like this Tatcha one. I'm not saying I don't like it. I do like Tatcha products, so if you have a bit of money to burn, this is a great one to get. But if you don't, the Neutrogena one will do just the same job. The difference with this one and the Neutrogena is that this one has a little bit of sort of shimmery to it to brighten your eyes. I mean, I'm not sure if you can see that, sort of giving it a little bit of a brightness. I'm just patting it in, but it goes in completely dry. I mean, it's not feeling tacky, okay, guys? And that, you see, I would prefer you did something like that. Let me just get my lips sorted. I would prefer you did something like that now than went and spent a lot of money on a moisturizer, because this I know then, and you know, and you can feel good in your mind and in your heart that you are using a sunscreen. Okay, I mean, you're using it, and it's a 60. You're covering the external of your face, you're covering inside your face, the brown spots hopefully that you've got on your face that you may be treating with other things like the retinol, like the A313. That can do its job without you impeding it again. And like I say, if you don't want to wear makeup, don't add this to it. If you do want to wear makeup, get a darker one of these, get this, make it to your colour, and now you have what is a BB cream with a 60 in it, but you've got an anti-acne in it, and you've boosted your antioxidants. I mean, it's genius. I love these. And if you are looking at traveling, and normally you take all your stuff in, you know, in a small thing, I would definitely make a couple of these up. I would make 2 or 3 just in case one of them bursts, okay? So I would make a couple of these pots up, and that's easier to carry a little pot than it is to carry all your ingredients, especially if you spend a lot of money on your products, okay? This way, you know, your Efferclar is gonna, you know, because this is expensive as well, you know, you're not going to lose it sort of in transit or nothing. You've got it all in here. But at the same time, because if you suffer with breakouts, because you've put that Efferclar in there, it's also going to be treating your zits. I mean, you know, I mean, I went to bed with this on last night just to trial it. I washed my face as normal, and I thought, I wonder if I could use that as a night one. And I actually, the one I've got in my bathroom, the one without the colour in, I just used that, and I slept in it. And I woke up this morning, and it didn't cause any problems. And I was like, wow, if it came to it and you had to, and you didn't want to use a night moisturiser, make one up for day, make one up for night. Did that help, my guys? You know, I did say on my first videos I started, I don't want you to spend a lot of money on products, but if you are going to do it and you are looking at doing something, even though these are, you know, a chunk of change, I realise they're actually helping you, and you're not using a lot of it. You're not going to use them all up in a month, okay? Because you're kind of watering it down in a way, but you are using it. Because I think if you have to do steps separately, some people love to do the steps, I used to, but if you don't and you don't have the time and you think, well, which one goes on first? Do I put that one on first? Do I put the spot treatment? Which one goes on first? Okay, it don't matter. Oh my goodness, guys. So yeah, so that would be my recommendation. If you are looking for a day moisturizer, or you're thinking about changing, but you know you have to use a sunscreen, just go for the sunscreen. Put a little bit of money in the sunscreen. You do not have to use a separate antioxidant. There's already one in there. This is just because I liked it, and I like the pretty bottle. And I do use it underneath my sheet mask, just to try and give skin some off. But you don't need that if you don't want it. Add in some kind of acne treatment's always great if you get breakouts with, you know, any kind of sunscreen. This is going to help at least, okay? And you don't have to add that. I mean, if you just are after a good sunscreen and you're good enough with that and you have no problems with your skin, just get that. That's your moisturizer. That's it. In the morning. And then if you want to wear makeup over it, like I say, it's dried. It's completely dry. This could be your base. But why not add it all together and make your life simple? Anyhow, guys, like I say, I had to get that one out of my system because I've noticed the sunscreen starting to come back into the shops, and I'm like, oh no, people are going to start going and buy the cheap one. It's going to clog the face, or you know, whatever. And if I can sort of show you my favorite one, I've been using this for years now, and well, actually everything I've been using for years now. This is a newer one, and yeah, I mean, I'll probably get through this in a couple of months, and then I'll buy another one. But it would be the same as a moisturizer. At least I know I'm using it. Thank you for watching, guys. If there's anything that you would like me to cover, let me know. If this helped you, let me know. If you are someone who's traveller, maybe you live in you know, in a van, maybe you're doing the van life, this would be great for you guys. I mean, all these products are small enough that they don't take up a lot of space. Make your own little one up and you're good to go. Like I say, traveling, fantastic. You're just taking one thing on board then. You know, in your carry-on, and that's it. So thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I'm being stared at by Lulu. She's not happy with me. In the meantime,